The Beatles once sang Money Can't Buy Me Love, and I wholeheartedly concur with the Fab Four on that one. But in a political campaign, money can buy you a lot of advertising, and it looks like Donald Trump's going to have quite a bit to work with. According to reports coming out of Florida, a fundraiser tonight raised the Trump campaign over $50+ million, shattering the previous record set not more than a week ago by Biden in New York City. Hang on, folks. We're going to get into all this in just 1 second. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. Hi, folks. Brian Trippett here, the Front Porch Conservative, and I was wondering if I could ask for your help with something. My YouTube channel is getting very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. My Rumble channel is also getting close to 200 subscribers. So here is my ask. Please subscribe to both my YouTube and my Rumble channels. It would be a really, really big help to me. This channel is a going little concern. I'd like to make it a going big concern, but I can't do that without your subscription and your support. And with that, on to the video. Last week, Joe Biden and his campaign raised a record-setting $25 million at a star-studded event in New York City. At Radio City Music Hall in downtown Manhattan, with the presence of two former Democrat presidents in Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, and a whole host of luminaries from the world of music and entertainment, the Biden campaign raked in the cash. But apparently, Donald Trump is channeling his inner Betty Hutton as he cries out, "Anything you can do, I can do better," and apparently tonight his campaign proved it. We go to the pages of the New York Post and read the following. Trump rakes in record-setting $50.5 million at exclusive Florida campaign fundraiser, shattering Biden's NYC haul. Article written by Patrick Riley, we have the following. Former President Trump's campaign raked in $50.5 million at an exclusive fundraiser dinner with billionaires in Florida on Saturday. The haul more than doubles the record $25 million raised at President Biden's star-studded event at Radio City Music Hall last month and fattens the GOP's coffers just months away from the November election. Quote, biggest night in fundraising of all time, Trump boasted on Truth Social. We'll double up the Biden numbers of last week at Radio City. People are desperate for change. They want to make America great again. End of quote. Hedge fund manager John Paulson, who hosted the inaugural leadership dinner at his Palm Beach mansion, said the staggering sum shows Republicans are rallying around Trump. Quote, tonight we raised a historic $50.5 million for the re-election of President Trump, Paulson told the Post in a statement. This sold-out event has raised the most in a single political fundraiser in history. This overwhelming support demonstrates the enthusiasm for President Trump and his policies. Reading further into the article, sources in Trump's inner circle have called the event a come home to Trump moment. It's the former president's first major fundraiser since he clinched the Republican nomination. Saturday's attendees paid between $250,000 and $814,600 per person for the reception and dinner at Paulson's $110 million oceanfront home, not far from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Special guests include Trump's former GOP rivals Vivek Ramaswamy, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. WWE co-founder Linda McMahon, hotelier Steve Wynn, former Senator Kelly Loeffler, and hedge fund billionaire Robert Mercer were also in attendance. At least two of the event's co-chairs, hotel entrepreneur Robert Bigelow and oil magnate Harold Hamm, had previously thrown their support behind Trump's closest competitors, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former Ambassador Nikki Haley. President Biden raised $25 million at his swanky March 28th event at Manhattan's Radio City Music Hall, which set a new campaign fundraising record before Saturday. The event featured former Democratic Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, and was hosted by CBS Late Show's Stephen Colbert. Quote, "It took 3 Democrat presidents to raise $25 million and 1 president to raise over $50 million, Donald J. Trump campaign spokesperson Daniel Alvarez told the Post. This haul shows the Republican Party is united behind President Trump to defeat Joe Biden and that nobody is staying on the sidelines." Per a joint fundraising agreement with the RNC, most of the ticket fees were sent to the RNC and state Republican parties, with the first $6,600 of each donation going to the president's campaign and the next $5,000 to a leadership PAC that has been footing Trump's mounting legal bills. On Wednesday, the GOP announced that the joint fundraising effort had raised over $65.6 million in March, ending the month with over $91.3 million cash on hand. Okay, let's get into this. Now, for better or worse, money is the lifeblood of politics. We can all sit there and decry what it's done to the process, and I can't really blame people for being upset about it. All things being equal, I would much rather 2 men walk out on a stage, have a long, unscripted debate about the nation's issues on national television, and let people decide for themselves who they want to vote for. Money be damned. But it is what it is, so here's where we are. Now, the only reason I even bring up this subject is Biden and his people just absolutely ballyhooed the fact that they raised all this campaign cash up in New York City. Okay, fine, that's up to them. But it does kind of speak to one thing. Trump and his campaign going into this fundraiser were saying, well, we're hoping to raise maybe $30 million. Before this evening, it was around $40 million is what the tally they were hoping for. They apparently exceeded any and all expectations. Okay, good for them. But there are a couple of questions that I have about this going into November. It seems like they got a whole lot of big money people to give what seems like a lot of money up front. Is the Trump campaign setting itself up for a situation where down the road they won't be able to tap these donors again? The second question that I have is about their small fundraising operation. In other words, yes, they raised quite a bit of money tonight off of large donors, millionaires, billionaires, hedge fund people, whomever. I don't disagree with that. Look, they're going to have their influence in a campaign one way or the other. But what about small donors? Is the Trump campaign making a good concerted effort to try to get the $25, the $50, the $100 donor to be able to continue to give money? And if so, how is that going and how will that play out in November? Well, we'll see. And on the first question, yet to be seen. Maybe these folks haven't tapped out yet. Maybe there were all kinds of different ways that the money was raised. We'll find out down the road, but for right now, Donald Trump gets a very significant feather in his cap by one-upping Joe Biden. And it also speaks to something else. A lot has been made about the Biden campaign advantage as far as money for going into November. And I don't dispute the fact that Biden will probably outraise Trump. But then again, after tonight, I'm starting to wonder how significant an advantage that Biden is going to have in campaign cash going into November. Like I said, he'll probably outraise Trump, but I don't know if the gap is going to be that big. And there's also another consideration. While money is important in a political campaign, given that these two are known quantities, is it really going to make that big of a difference in the long run? Now, it'll help with campaign advertising. I don't dispute any of that, but there are other things that money does. Organization and grassroots, and get out the vote. So, let's see what happens. They've raised a lot of money. Now let's see if the Trump campaign knows what to do with it. But that's what I think about all of it. What do you think? As we start to wrap up this video, please do me some favors as always. Number 1, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please do so. Number 2, please hit the bell for notifications. I want to make sure you're always aware when new material is coming out, be it a video or a live stream. Number 3, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think about all this. Number 4, share the video around. And finally, give me a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your Front Porch Conservative, and I will see you next time.